Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, as if Extreme Rules wasn't crazy enough, Bray Wyatt highlights a massive list of returns and surprises across all brands in WWE. Plus, Jon Moxley and Jericho sign extensions. We get our first glimpse of WrestleMania in Philly. MJF and William Regal have a promo for the ages, and WWE is going back to college. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're also going to preview Halloween Havoc. We got 2 weeks of crazy wrestling news to talk about, and we're going to start it right now. So put on your hats as if you are a wrestling god from JBL, because it's Kings of Rings Podcast, episode 313, banger after banger after banger, exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now. So happy the Yankees won last night.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy 7 games, though, with Houston.
It's not going to at all, but we'll be here for all of it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kings of Rings Podcast, episode number 312, 313. I forgot what fucking episode it is. It's
312, baby.
312. I might have said 313 in the intro, but whatever, my bad. Banger after banger. We were not able to do a show last week due to Santana and Ortiz messing with K. Murphy's internet yet again, and Will was on the road somewhere, but he is alive and well. We're all alive and well.
And my brother got married.
Your brother got married, which is, I guess, that's a cool thing as well. We are alive and well. We have a shit ton of wrestling to talk about, because wrestling, for some reason, in the down part of the year on the wrestling calendar, wrestling's been fucking amazing.
Outstanding.
Like, absolutely mind-blowing that everything's hitting on all cylinders. But before we get to any of that, let's check in with everybody, starting with Will Tarasuk. Will, how was the wedding, by the way?
It was a great wedding, dude. The church was great. The bride looked fantastic. I cried at the altar. I wasn't even the one getting married.
Wait, you
and halfway through I did cry a little bit. It was very beautiful. And my best man speech, halfway through, I was like, why are they laughing? Are they supposed to be laughing this much? And I was like, oh, shit. I am roasting my brother right now. But it was a phenomenal speech. I stole the show unintentionally. So congratulations to my brother and his beautiful wife, Meg, my new sister-in-law. So yeah, it was a good time. A Tarashuk wedding, there's nothing like it. Everyone's asking me when I'm getting married. And I said, a few years. So Kay Murphy, I can't wait for you to come to my wedding.
I can't wait to come to your wedding, but how was the food?
It was good. The food is actually really good as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Steak was a little chewy, but it was good.
Oh, I could fuck so hard with the steak right now. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. No.
Come on, get it out. Get it out. Get it up.
I think I can persist. But so many wild things are going on in my life. I am finally off the 4 a.m. grind as of yesterday.
Holla.
So for the next month, I'm gonna be working like my old afternoon nighttime shift before finally transitioning to a totally normal schedule in December. And I have figured out my Halloween costume.
Ooh, are you gonna tell us now, or are we gonna wait?
I have to work Halloween night. Now that I'm on night shift, I didn't plan to take off for Halloween, so I didn't anticipate being at work at night. So I decided I'm gonna make the most of it, and I'm gonna have a comfy, cozy Halloween night while I work.
So you're wearing a onesie.
You're goddamn right. I'm wearing a onesie. Would you like?
How did I know? How did I know?
Is it a banana?
Please let it be a banana.
Please let it be a banana.
It's not a banana.
Is it 2 bananas?
No. I got a.
Are you a grape? Are you a member berry?
I'm gonna be a member. I am being Baby Yoda, aka Grogu.
Nice.
But
so good.
My partner and we were originally gonna do a Star Wars theme for our costume, so I had ordered Frank Yoda ears.
They can be Yoda, not Yoda. They can be Mando.
So I wanted to be Mando. And have Frank be Baby Yoda, but I couldn't find a Mando suit that I liked that would probably fit me. So Frank and I are going to be matching Yodas when I work on Halloween, but my actual costume, my housemates and my partner and we are all being Wizard of Oz characters. I will be
nice.
I, of course, will be the Wicked Witch of Astoria West. and my housemate Danielle is going to be Danielle the Good.
That should be your drag name, Astoria West.
Astoria West would be a good drag name.
That would be a good one.
Astoria
That'd be
West.
really good.
Astoria West is like they're making like it's like a complex near me because I live in the westernmost part of Astoria.
Yeah.
But they're trying to like make Astoria West a thing. Making our way to the stage, Astoria West.
There you go. Yeah. I like it. Astoria West. All right, folks. So let's get into it with Astoria West here and Will Tarashuk. That should be your new name for
An Astoria West Side Story,
Yeah.
baby.
Astoria West Side Story.
Oh my God, Kay, we should stop calling you Kay Murray. Just call you Astoria West, just to give you like a gimmick name. That would be awesome.
I'll change all my social media.
You don't have. This is just an idea. This is off the top of the.
No, I do love DK Murphy.
Yeah, the TKM as well.
It's funny, K. Like whenever I talk to like my friends or whoever, I always say your last name too. It's not just K. It's K Murphy.
There you go.
Like whenever you come up, it's just like it's K Murphy.
Even before I changed my name and I was going by my old name, like I was always a first name, last name human.
Oh my God, Ricky Bader just went yard and just absolutely destroyed it.
Nice.
He might as well have hit on the fucking train tracks.
Suck it, Astros. You're going to hear about a lot during these next couple of weeks of the ALCS, especially if we lose. Oh, I'm going to curse them all out. But anyway, folks, we have a lot of wrestling to discuss. Extreme Rules happened, and I think we should start there. It was yes.
It was the greatest Extreme Rules that ever happened. I can't remember any others either. Other than the horror show. The horror show was funky.
Yeah, it had an interesting, and that's what Bray and Braun went at it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
in like a swamp.
So Bliss was Sister Abigail for like that one-off. I think that was it. But anywho, let's talk about Extreme Rules in general. Great show, but we're not going to start talking about any of the matches. Let's start with in my opinion, the absolute greatest return I have ever seen in the history of professional wrestling. This is better than Edge coming back at the Rumble. This is better than every 100,000 Undertaker return. Better than the Warrior coming back at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt's perfectly executed multi-week series of clues and hints paid off in a return that got one of the craziest pops I've ever heard from a live show that I wasn't there for.
Yeah, I know. Me and Ricky text each other at the same time. We should have went to Philly. I should have nutted up. I should have taken out my brother's wedding gift, and I should have went to Philly.
Honestly,
He could have went with $700 instead of $1,000. It would have been fine. He texted me saying I paid him too much anyway. That asshole.
If I wasn't in Salem, I 1,000% would have been Philly. And Ricky texted me, he's got the whole world in his hands. I was like, God fucking damn it. I had the time of my life, but like, I would have loved.
I mean, Triple H brought back the post lower third ending, the post credit ending. I forget what the Chiron is. It the Chiron? I forget what it's actually called. The credit Chiron.
It's called.
Yeah, you know what it is, like the copyright Chiron.
I know what you're talking about. If you actually look at that whole show, I think I'd say this earlier, but if you actually look at that whole show, you have the post lower third ending, like the past the copyright ending, the surprise ending. You had the plants in the crowd of the NXT people. You had Braun Breaker and Thicky Nicky Nikita Lyons, my Lord Almighty, also in the crowd. You brought back the spotlights on the champions during a championship match and the blacked out crowd. You didn't see a WWE event. What you saw was TakeOver.
It did feel very much like a takeover. Like, no, you're 100% right. The crowd, the Braun Breaker in the crowd was really cool. It's like, it's not even like he's coming up to him. It's just like, hey, don't forget he exists. And then the championship thing, I didn't even notice until you texted it to me. I was like, oh fuck, he's right. Because like, you know what it is? I noticed it, but I always thought like WWE always did that. You know what I mean? Because I'm so accustomed to it. So that was really cool. And Triple H, like, again, just the small things, the little details, the little changes that make WWE so much better over the past few months, as well as the returns. And it's like, there's no announcement. Like, Tony Khan would have announced it, right? Would have been a press. Dave Meltzer would have leaked it to Meltzer. It's like, hey, we're bringing this back. And Triple H is like, I'm just going to do it. People who know will know. It'll be cool. And it was great. It's a great detail. And it made it so much better.
It really did. I love it. And also, you know what actually kicked in for me when I was like, oh crap, it's a takeover? It was the minimal amount of matches on the card.
Yes, six matches. Six matches. No fluff.
No fluff. Every match, for better or worse, had time to breathe and tell a story.
Excellent pacing, fantastic match placement. The show flowed. I mean, it was. And also, I also ate an edible during the pre-show, and I ordered wings, so I was so happy. I was just in bliss, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with wrestling and watching this show. I was almost like, fuck, dude, I should stop working so much so I can watch more wrestling. It's almost a problem because I really want to start watching wrestling pretty hard again.
I feel you so hard on this.
I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun.
What about you?
I do regret not going to Extreme Rules. It's so true.
What about you? Were you able to actually watch Extreme Rules at all?
Yeah, I watched all of it, but I watched it while I was working.
Mm-hmm.
So I also wish that I had more. I want to watch wrestling like that again. I've been very open about being kind of over wrestling the last all of this year basically.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. The Punk shit and the Jeff Hardy shit really was just like a cherry on top of my shit sandwich. But
yeah.
I have been needing reasons to fall back in love with wrestling, and Triple H taking over was definitely a sign that could happen again. And then Bray coming back, and then his promo on SmackDown. I'm in. I am in. I agree completely.
In
so hard. I watched Raw and SmackDown, and I look forward to watching it this week because I wanted to know what he was gonna do. And I know it's really a really simple take to have, but that's all wrestling takes. Needs something to bring you in and something to be actually compelling and interesting to watch that brings you back week to week. Whereas when Vince was still here, there were so many times I could see the same match over and over again. And I haven't had that feeling at all in weeks.
And all you need is one gateway to bring to bring you back in. And Bray was that gateway for a ton of people. This felt so real. And the crazy thing about this was that we all knew it was Bray. We all knew.
Yeah.
And
well, we thought it was Alistair for half a second.
I thought it was Alistair too for a half second.
I would have exploded.
But we all eventually we all figured out, okay, it's Bray, and it still got that reaction.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They told you without telling you.
The promo that he put on that following Friday was a shoot, by the way.
Say, hey man, this is a side. This is a side. I haven't revealed myself, man. It's man, yeah. It was great, and then it was weird though. It was weird how they cut it off.
Oh yeah, with that newest character
to end the show.
Yeah. Which means the story's not over yet, which is a good thing.
No, of course. It's interesting. It's creative. It's different. I'm here for it. See where it goes.
I'm here for it. I love the visual of his return, about how he is, essentially, from what I gathered from it and watching it a couple of times, he killed off all of his past characters.
Yeah.
That's why the Firefly Funhouse was so dormant and damp and all the characters there. He's killing it off, and he's coming with this newer creation of some sort, whatever it is, and it could be it's just him.
Part of me though is just man, don't give the Marks this much credit, man. They're gonna don't give them an inch. They're gonna take a mile. Don't do it. Fuck, he did it.
But it was so good because it was just whoever came up with it, the placement of all the characters around the crowd, the song, it being in Philly, which is very marquee. It was a perfect return. Perfect return.
Yeah. He looks happy too. I love his hair.
400 days. Over 400 days he had not done a thing. So it was crazy. Yeah, that also is true, Mr. Fretz. Welcome, Mr. Fretz. He's fighting his demons. The puppets are his demons / his past, which would make sense. which has made a lot of sense. And I'm happy he's back because I do know, and if anybody followed Bray, you do know that when Brody passed away, that really took a toll on his psyche for a very,
Yeah, of
very long
course.
time. So, but I'm happy that he's back, and now he can instantly be back in the picture. Especially because the last time we saw him, he was in the Universal title picture with Roman and company, and so this could be another foil to Roman and the Bloodline, which would be very, very interesting story. I don't know if they'll do that, but we'll see what happens. But moving along, let's go through some of the card on the or almost all the matches on the Extreme Rules card. Starting out with the Fight Pit, which I thought was very well done from the first time we
Woo!
the Fight Pit.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, the Fight Pit. Sorry, no, sorry. I thought it was the Donnybrook. No, the
We'll
Fight
talk about
Pit.
the Donnybrook. Oh my lord! But the Fight Pit was great. I love Daniel Cormier as a no nonsense referee. Fucking tastic.
Yeah, the no nonsense was good. He counted a little fast. The sign of a good ref is when you can't recognize, right? The one you forget is there. DC made his presence felt, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. I didn't think it was great.
You know what it was? You think it was because I think they were the de facto main event, sure, but they weren't the why everybody was there for at the end. Like Triple H made you wait for Bray, which is the right thing to do. But it did seem a little bit rushed, but also to me, it felt like it was just a UFC fight in a different name.
Yeah. No, but the match was great. I love the no ropes. I was thinking, damn, it kind of needs some weapons though.
I don't think it needs. It depends. I mean, they're literally giving this to Riddle as his this is your signature match type thing, which I get. You know.
I thought he legitimately broke his tailbone coming off that cage too.
Yeah, I thought he fucked himself up.
I was like, yeah, your back or your ass or something is just not right.
Something.
Yep, something is no bueno.
But I was talking to Charles. Shout out to Charles, by the way.
Shout out to Charles. Love that guy.
He was talking about.
Hi, Charles.
He was talking about how Daniel Cormier being the only no nonsense official could be his character because it's believable. Like
it's
when
believable.
When he put Riddle and Seth up against the wall and he was like, "Don't touch me," like. You know what happens if you touch me. Like, he played it well, which I thought was cool. But I loved the match, and they got out of there. It was a good match. Kay, did you watch the Fight Pit?
I did watch the Fight Pit. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it, yeah.
But I was very caught up at work. I didn't get to watch it the way I wanted to because I was, like, caught up.
Yeah, no, I get
while
it.
I was watching the Fight Pit.
Yeah, no, it was good, but
I was like so super busy at work.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. So Fight Pit was
But I liked it. I thought it was really
No, I thought it was good too. It's something I can definitely keep. I love it. I love how they pretty much pimped it out essentially from what it was in NXT. Where like they gave it like lights all around.
It got an entrance.
Because for a while I was like, how the fuck are they gonna do this? Like I remember all the Fight Pit was constructed. I was like, how the hell are we gonna do it? And I saw, I was like, oh, they did a really good job. And it's a tall structure. It's a tall structure, but good. Riddle wins, obviously, and then Seth gets his kind of one-ups later on the next fucking night in Brooklyn, which we will get to. But moving on to probably the best told story of the entire night, in my opinion, you have the I Quit match, Edge, Finn Balor, with all of the shenanigans, and a returning Beth Phoenix.
Oh, I want that match so bad. Beth and Rhea.
Oh my god,
dude! I was getting a lotion. Okay, please, you go off first before I go off.
I want them to crush each other. I want Rhea Ripley to crush Beth Phoenix with her thighs. Give me what I want.
Yeah.
Yes, what about the match?
I think the I Quit match was probably my favorite match of the show. Again, I wish I wasn't working when I watched this pay-per-view, and I'm like bummed about it because I've like gotten so used to like being able to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
That now that like it requires my attention again, I'm at a loss.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn to adjust. But let me ask you a question, Kay. Did you see Finn Balor's entrance?
I did.
God, what a fucking disgust! It was aw- that was
I
bad.
loved it. I don't care. I love the random mass BS. Like I thought it was different. I liked it. I also liked the remix on his
Oh, Gimp Balor, you
his
mean?
theme.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I don't
It
remember.
was this like. It's like you might as well call him Zed. Zed is dead, baby. Zed is dead. I was just like, what the fuck are you wearing? That was
It was
really dumb.
Kanye West Balor. Yes, it was the Kanye West Balor
Wow.
to a T. But this I Quit match was a lot better than expected for me because I didn't picture Beth getting involved.
I should have seen it coming, honestly, because how else do you get Edge to quit?
Yeah,
True.
you threaten to hit Beth in the head with a chair, and then he quits, and you fucking do it anyway.
And then you do it anyway. Yeah. No, like it was well told. It was slow paced, picked up in the middle. Great finish, great story.
Yeah.
The Dom kicking the balls was great. You know, Dom beating the fuck out of Ray was amazing. Like, I could watch Dom beat up Rey Mysterio for 3 hours. That's WrestleMania Night 1 for me, and the pre-show.
Dom beat up Ray and has been beating up Ray so badly that one, he's gotten some crazy heat from everywhere he goes.
And he beat AJ Styles.
He got lucky. Through the shenanigans. And
I felt the same way.
And he forced Ray to go to SmackDown.
Good. He
Thank
should be on
God.
SmackDown.
Dominic,
Fine with me.
From Ray.
I love it. Frank. Hi, Frank, who's joining us on the show right
Frank Tortellini is joining us.
Yes, ready for your Halloween, Frank.
Because
Although, are you upset
No.
we're not getting a Ray Dom match?
Save it for Mania.
I think it's coming.
Save it for Mania.
Okay, save it.
Save it for
Save it.
Mania.
Okay, that's fine with
I
me.
think that's
All right, as long as we get it
that's why you
eventually.
move him over to SmackDown to let it go away for a while.
Dom eliminates him at the Rumble.
Set up Ray Dom. It's in California. Like, how do you not?
You know what?
Booyaka, booyaka.
How do you not do Ray Dom in California? Like, it has to happen.
You know it's like
We're gonna have a San Diego street fight,
Oh,
Dom.
Don't even say that. That's what's gonna happen.
It is what's gonna happen.
Apparently, there's gonna be no pay-per-view between Survivor Series and the Rumble, and I'm really excited.
Very good.
They canceled day one.
Don't tell Charles that.
No,
Don't tell Charles that he wanted
I
to go
actually
to day one.
I actually liked day one. It was
I
a
liked
clever
it.
idea for a pay-per-view.
I liked day one too, but I just saw the other day that they're canceling day one, so they're not gonna have anything from the Survivor Series to Royal Rumble. Like give it kind of like an AEW vibe, and I'm here for it.
but also,
That's fine.
Good.
I don't need a monthly
The Royal
show.
Rumble should kick off the new year. Charles, hey, Charles is here, and he just revealed the news
Hi,
to Charles. He
Charles.
said, "Fucking criminal."
But you're not going to day one.
And number two, after Survivor Series, no one cares about a wrestling pay-per-view unless it was Starrcade, and even that didn't do well. You know?
Yeah, dude, they're like, hey, maybe the December pay-per-view will be a Christmas gift, and for a few people it was, but not enough.
So, whatever. It's fine. Survivor Series ends. Royal Rumble begins. Gives a little bit more credence to Survivor Series, hopefully. Moving along from this I Quit match, which again was fucking phenomenal. Will the opening match, Donnybrook, have fun talking about that?
Dude, it was fun. It was a fun triple threat, like tornado tag match with barrels and shit. I have never been more high on Sheamus than ever. It's just like, wow. And Walter, so you guys know I'm not a huge fan of Walter or Gunther, but these trio, dude, they're phenomenal. I even like the name Butch now. Like, it all fits. I have forgiven Ridge Holland for injuring Big E. Like, everything about this is just over. They just beat the fuck out of each other. They got like 25 minutes. It might have been the longest match on the card. It was great.
I don't think I would forgive Ridge Holland for injuring Big E, but I understand what you're going for.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I'm glad there's no heat on you. You're talented.
He is really talented. I was really excited about him, and then everything just kind of like womp womp. Oh my God, Franklin,
Well, yeah, he almost killed Big E, and that was bad. That was really about.
That was very
Yeah.
bad.
But these guys put on a fucking show. Sheamus, this might be, and it's really weird to say because Sheamus again has a Hall of Fame career and no one really knows it. Um,
He's underrated as fuck.
he is, but this might be Sheamus's best rivalry he's ever been in.
It's like the past few months has been his best run,
I
the most
agree.
over for
It's
sure.
my favorite era of Sheamus.
This
ever.
is my favorite era of Sheamus too. Yeah, all we're missing is Pat McAfee screaming "Fight Night" every time they come out.
Yeah, Michael Cole's
He's
trying to do it.
I will say this. I will say this. Michael Cole at Extreme Rules was unbelievably awesome.
Yeah.
He did great.
Dude, you know what it is? You know what it is, Michael Cole? Michael Cole's been allowed to like give wrestling history facts, and it's just like, oh, this is so cool to know. Well, Vince is like, no one knows who that is, pal. But like, who cares? It's like this history facts. It's cool.
Yeah. Or no, I'm also talking about in particular when what was it? He went off on Dom for beating up Ray.
Yeah, that's your father, for Christ's sake.
I think he's having so much more.
Come on!
without Vince in his ear.
What's up? Okay.
I said I think he's having so much fun without Vince in his fucking ear.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Michael
absolutely.
Cole can finally breathe.
Absolutely.
And I don't hate Michael Cole now.
Yeah, when he did the first ever UK tournament and Cole was in his ear, and I think I guess Trips was running that show, the first ever UK tournament. He was fucking fantastic.
Amazing.
Absolutely, like unbelievable. Like, oh wow, you're an actual broadcast journalist, Michael Cole. Good job. So let's move on as we keep moving down. Bianca and Bayley, the first ever singles women's ladder match, because Money in the Bank doesn't actually count as, I guess, a ladder match in the more regular generic sense. But this match was good. I liked it. It was a good start. You had the two best people that you probably could have in your women's division do this ladder match, and hell of a finish.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. The KOD with the ladder was little like, come on, but good finish. But it's like, why is Bayley just hanging on to this ladder? Like you could just get off.
It's a half ladder.
Like in a realistic, I think so. Yeah, it was a half ladder. So in a realistic sense, it's kind of just like, what? But the visual was cool. Bianca is such a fucking star. Like it's crazy. I'm gonna keep saying it. She's a fucking star, and the match was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
Visual, right person won. Kay, what were your thoughts on the ladder match? Did we lose you, Kay?
You guys keep cutting out, so I'm missing half of what you guys are saying, so I'm trying to like figure out everything that's going on contextually.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
I know. I heard Bianca and fun, and I'm going to agree with that because I agree that Bianca and Bayley had a really fun match, and I want to see them in a fight pit.
Ooh. Female fight pit?
That'd be fun.
Ronda's the enforcer?
Honestly, I really want Rhea in a female fight pit if I had my choice, but my sapphic wish list grows.
It's very true.
It is almost Christmas.
It is almost Christmas. That's true. We gotta go through Thanksgiving first. Let's move on, folks. Speaking of Ronda and Sapphic and really Sapphic endings, you had Ronda and Liv Morgan. Ronda beating down Liv Morgan to take the SmackDown Women's title, but Liv ending up winning at the end because Ronda sat on her face and she passed out on the smiling. So I don't know a better ending than that, to be honest with you.
Liv got murdered.
Yeah.
Absolutely murdered. It just looked like when it was time for a comeback, like she ran out of gas. She looked like she had trouble swinging a kendo stick or a bat or whatever she was swinging. Like the hits or the chair, the hits just looked so weak. Like I was just like,
yes, that is a big Liv Morgan problem, I think.
I mean, when it comes to chairs, I don't know what it is. It's like most women, like maybe like other than Bianca or like Nia Jax, is it's like even like Ronda has trouble swinging a chair. It's like they're actually too heavy for them.
Which is wild when you think of it.
Yeah, but yeah, Ronda looked good. Just say that.
You know what it was with
Yeah.
Ronda? Ron, she went through the table, which was a great spot, and then Ronda just didn't let go of the hold. She was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a UFC fighter," and just locked it in and wouldn't let Liv out of it, which I thought was kind of cool to see. It's like, oh, Ronda went UFC, and I loved Ronda's submit outfit. Like I enjoyed her rowdy tribute, but now she's starting to develop her own gear again, which I think was really really cool to see.
Agree.
So, what were your thoughts on that sapphic ending, K Murphy?
I mean, I'd love a good sit on your face and pass out kind of moment. So I think it ended exactly as it should have. But honestly, if Liv Morgan actually won, I think I would have had a mental breakdown because I wouldn't have believed it.
You know what it is now? Liv Morgan, especially after her little crazy bout on SmackDown, I really feel like Liv Morgan is in her Jeff Hardy era. Just getting beat down and jumping off of high things for no fucking reason.
because pops.
That's how I feel. I feel like Liv is trying to get her Jeff Hardy on.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
She's trying.
Yeah, she's trying, but we'll see what happens. Let's move on to probably the most unentertaining yet still kind of entertaining match in the Extreme Rules card. We had the strap match between Karrion Kross and Drew.
Oh yeah, I already forgot about it. That happens.
I did love Karrion Kross being an absolute dick and not putting on the strap for the first half of the match.
Yeah, it was a fine finish.
Fine. Drew got hit with legit pepper spray, which kind of sucked for him.
Big fan of Scarlett.
That Sable cosplay she did was amazing.
Is that what that was? I was trying to figure it out. Okay. Yeah, good for her. Whatever the Sable's lion roar was, a tiger roar, or whatever. It's 1-1, by the way.
Was it a panther? I thought it was a panther roar or something like that.
It might have been a Black Panther. Sex Panther. It was a Sex Panther.
That makes sense. It was like a panther roar and like a whip, right? Or something like.
Yeah, and the whip.
Somehow that got past censors.
And then fucking Mark Merrow came out. We're all like, boo.
I feel bad for Mark Merrow. Not only he was legit married to Sable, and then Brock came in and took her.
Apparently him and Brock are really good friends, which, yeah, duh. If you're going to have issues, you're going to have a life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Merrow got cucked by Brock Lesnar. I'm not mad at him for it. I don't blame him at all. You know what? It's not your fault.
It's not.
It's not. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. Anywho, that was the 6 matches. I can't believe we had a 6-match pay-per-view or premium live event, and it was that fucking good. It was that fucking. Would you give us a 10 out of 10?
No, I think I gave it a 9. Yeah. Yeah, Liv and the Balor Masks didn't do it for me. The strap match was okay.
K Murphy, what are your final thoughts on Extreme Rules now that you've seen it?
I loved it. It was a great pay-per-view to get me back into WWE like that. So I also am giving it a 9.
Yeah.
Franklin is also giving it a 9. Oh my god, he's on the microphone.
Yeah, Franklin.
So sorry,
Franklin,
everyone.
break the fourth wall right now. Tell us your thoughts.
What if he just went, ow!
It's out of nowhere.
Yeah. We just heard goes, actually, Ricky, I actually think it was a great match. Fuck yourself.
Oh my god.
He feels very strongly about this pay-per-view being a 9, so much so that he needed to take the.
That's perfectly fine with me. Thank you for your insight, Frank. I'm gonna give it a 9.5
Oh, he
because.
licked the microphone.
Oh, we're getting close. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because Bray's return was so fucking good that it elevated everything else on the card, in and of itself. But I hope they keep this style of Extreme Rules for a couple of years now, where it's just gimmick match after gimmick match, and letting each match breathe. Because this is a fantastic form. 6 matches went 3 hours. By the way,
I don't mind Extreme Rules as a pay-per-view.
I love it.
I hope they get rid of Elimination Chamber as a pay-per-view. I hope they get rid of Hell in a Cell as a pay-per-view. It's don't have gimmick pay-per-views. Have gimmicks on pay-per-views.
Yes, I think it makes for a much better experience.
It does. It's better storytelling too.
It really is. So let's move on from Extreme Rules. And by the way, before we do that, this is, if you guys haven't seen already, they revealed the WrestleMania 40 logo.
Yo,
They
it's
brought
so pretty.
back the Roman numerals, by the way. They revealed this right before Extreme Rules. It's in Philadelphia Coliseum.
Oh, they did bring back the Roman numerals.
It's on the bell.
XL, hell yeah, baby.
Beautiful. I can't wait for this. It's going to be an absolute madhouse.
Yeah, I would have preferred Philly's colors, but they're playing in Eagle Stadium, so I get it.
Yeah. It's going to be fantastic. That jersey is going to be probably dope. Dave probably has one on layaway already.
Nah, dude, Dave's a Cowboys fan.
You think, all right, so you really think that Dave is going to pass getting a WrestleMania 40 jersey just because he's a Cowboys fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know.
He's a really big Cowboys fan.
I'm a Giants fan, and I'm unsure if I can get one. Like, Dylan used to live in Philly, lived in Philly for like a long time, so we were like talking about it the other day, and I'm like, I couldn't live there. I'm a Giants fan. Like, they would shoot me on sight.
No, you would. All right, Kay. I went through the city of Philadelphia less than a week after the Yankees beat the Phillies in 2009 with my Yankee jacket that had all the World Series patches on it. And I was going through South Philly getting a cheesesteak, and I am still here.
You should have went through West Philly.
Listen, I'm not Will Smith. Okay? I think you'll be fine, Kay. I still got served by cheesesteak, although they were reluctant at first.
Okay, just stay in a gay neighborhood. You'll be fine.
That's Center City, Phil. You'll be fine.
That is
Yeah, Center City. Easy for me to say. Philly,
Absolutely
amazing,
fantastic.
incredible.
I still think we should all get a party house for Mania.
Oh no, that's definitely in the plans.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, dude, we have to buy plane tickets, so our budget is open.
Wide open.
We'll get a ball. Let's get a baller ass house in the game.
Dude, Ricky, I trust you. We're staying here. I'm not gonna question. I'm gonna need to show me the pictures. I was like, okay.
This is where we're going.
The man just knows how to travel. It's incredible.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a very, very long time. I'm still trying to get the.
Oh no,
Okay, finish that sentence.
I also am pretty good at finding like.
Yeah, no, I'll
said
definitely
that
start working on it, but let me
find cute Airbnbs.
That's very true. We do need to find good Airbnbs, but I'm definitely going to work on it. But I'm still trying to get to LA. That's still a pipe dream.
Yeah, dude, we got a year and a half. We got a year and a half. So we have a ridiculous amount of time.
To get to LA. It is potentially possible. Charles and I might go out to LA for the SoFi Stadium. I'm still holding on. So we're going to see what happens with that. But moving along with that,
I'm going to another fucking wedding next year, so now I really, really can't go to
I am too. My cousin's getting married.
I'm going to like 2 weddings like for my partner's family next like in March and April, and then May I'm going to be in New Orleans, and then July is the wedding I'm in.
Yeah, you just save up for Philly, Kay. Just save up for Philly.
I want to go ham in Philly instead.
Oh, we are. We are. Anywho, moving on to some AEW news. Jon Moxley was reported last week to have signed an extension, a 5-year extension with AEW, where as part of his contract, he's also has the ability to take more of a backstage role, as well as coach some of the younger talent as well.
Okay, so first things first, because the same thing with Jericho.
I'll get to Jericho too.
It's not technically an extension because he has new roles and responsibilities. It's a brand new contract.
Okay, because I know
because marketed
as an extension.
Yeah, so they're calling it an extension, but in reality, like if you get an extension but get a whole new job,
it's like a promotion. New contract.
Yeah, it's like a promotion. Since it's a contractor, so he's signing a 5-year deal starting now. So I don't know how much of his deal he had left, but. That's per Zarian because that's just business jargon. But yeah, he's there for another 5 years, which for AEW to sign these 2 guys for an extended period of time, one, incredibly smart because it's such a sign of locker room that's listen, guys, these are our leaders. We're sticking it out like little bit of tough patch here, but like these are your guys, these are your leaders. This is exactly the kind of good press that AEW needed right now. It's a big sign to the wrestling world saying, hey. our top 2 guys are sticking with this company. They have faith in this company. Don't give up on us.
Yeah, it's a good turn. Also, Jericho, your current ROH champion, which I'm really mad they got rid of that new ROH title one with the pure title, whatever it is, what it is. Also signing a deal which will allow him to take more of a role in creative as well as be a producer. As well,
Yeah.
which I actually went back and forth with my friend about this. I was like, I don't like this, and he's like, why don't you like it? It seemed to have worked out other times before. I was like, really? When Kevin Nash was in control?
When Hulk Hogan was in control.
When, you know?
I mean, but Jericho's also in his 50s, right? He knows his days are numbered. Like, but then again, have you heard interviews with him, like, talking about how he carried AEW on his back, and, like, he's got a pretty big ego. Which, don't get me wrong, everything he says is correct, but it's just like, all right, guy, like, how about some humility here?
Yeah.
It's just like, you also had the Elite, all right? Like, let's not forget that. You had Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you were champ, but, like, that's it.
And so that's my concern, is that he's getting this now. I don't know when his new roles take effect, obviously, but I'm concerned that he's still an active wrestler. And it's something we've talked about on the show before, about how it's hard to be an active wrestler and still try to do backstage roles, i.e. the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan. The list goes on and on.
Dude, it's Dusty Rhodes. It's the forbidden fruit in wrestling. It really fucking is. Like, you can do it, but Tony Khan or Vince McMahon needs to have the final veto power. Like, you can have your own ideas and produce other talent, but when it comes to me booking you, I have the final say, and you can go fuck yourself otherwise.
Yeah.
I think that's the proper way to do it. Like, you can't book yourself, dude. It's impossible. It's like Congress regulating themselves. It's not gonna end well for us. It's not gonna end well for anybody other than themselves.
So that is my big concern about. Like, I'm glad they're signing extensions, because obviously everybody needs jobs. But my concern is, you are active. They're both champions, which is fine. You want to re-sign your champions. That's a great sign. It's good press, like you said, Will. But these backstage roles, when do they take effect? And are you still going to be that prominent in the spotlight of the show and still have these backstage roles? It's really hard.
I mean, Jericho's great on TV, though. Don't get me wrong.
I watched him and Dalton Castle last night, which, by the way, entrances were fantastic. Dalton Castle, one of the best entrances I've seen in a very, very long time on AEW Dynamite.
I mean, Jericho can still wrestle, too. Don't get me wrong.
That Judas effect at the end of the match was fucking great. But it's just, I'm happy, but I'm reserved, for more so for Jericho than Mox. Because I honestly think Mox handled himself a lot better than people give him credit for. To be completely honest, but Jericho, it is what it is. But moving on with the other AEW news, is there anybody else besides me that actually watched this MJF and Regal promo from last night?
I didn't.
This was a masterclass in storytelling.
I've heard of it, though.
Promo work, and the fact that most of this was a shoot, or that I believed it to be a shoot, just because of how well MJF sold every line. And someone on this broadcast actually did know MJF in his very youthful time. And so MJF essentially tells the story about how he went to an open tryout run by Regal and Malenko and someone else at the Barclays Center before a WWE event. Adam Pearce, run by Malenko, Pearce, and Regal. You know, he's 19 years old. He's lining up with people. He's doing a tryout match. After his tryout match, which apparently he did really well in at the age of 19, Regal pulls him aside and says, "Come with me." Regal sits him down in a separate room and says, "You have 3 minutes to sell me about why should we sign you." You know, and he's, whatever, MJF does his MJF spiel, according to MJF, by the way, which Regal does not deny in this promo whatsoever. And Regal is aghast, he's in shock, he's very impressed. He said, "How old are you?" And MJF said, "I'm 19. And Regal said, "Oh, you're a little bit too young for us to sign at the time," regardless of the fact that years ago, the Hardy Boys were like 18 fucking years old. 16.
16.
Yeah, they lied about their age.
And lied about his age.
Yeah, they lied about their age to get contracts in and of itself. Tyler Bate was also ridiculously young as well. I totally agree. Pete Dunne, so on and so forth. Be that as it may, Regal says you're a little bit too young, but what I need you to do is to every month send me a video of a match and a video of you cutting a promo, and I will, try to keep tabs on you. And so he tells the story about he did it for 1 month and Regal got back to him very politely. Second month, Regal got back to him very politely. Third month, Regal essentially tells him to fuck off. And that, things changed in WWE and they're not hiring talent, straight up the indies. Like, you have to pretty much start to make a name for yourself. That's the way that it was going at the time, which sounds about right, because this was 7 years ago. NXT was just about to be on the rise, and what did NXT do? They started signing a bunch of indie talent, well-known, prominent names. And at that time, MJF wasn't a prominent name.
Yeah.
What got me about this promo was that MJF literally pulled out the email on his cell phone. And he wasn't him remembering it.
Wild.
He read the email on his cell phone in front of a smirking William Regal, by the way.
He's like, yeah, I did that.
And what really got to me is that MJF is on the brink of literal real tears. He's turning red. And he goes...
Really?
Yeah. Because he's like, "Stop laughing at me. This is real right now." And he says, "I read this." He goes, "After I read that," he went on about how he was heartbroken and he started to not believe in himself to the point where he said, "I almost killed myself because you sent that email to me."
Wow.
I don't believe that.
I don't. You have to watch it. You have to watch it, because I remember watching me like, oh wow, I was like, whoa, this might be a little bit too much here, MJF. And they go back and forth. And Regal's like, well, consider yourself lucky that you got an email that broke your heart. You weren't like, and Regal's like, you weren't 16 or 17 with no family trying to fight your way into people giving you some sort of time. And Regal's telling his own backstory.
I gave him the business.
And he's like, consider yourself lucky that you only got this email and stuff. He's like, you know what? He's like, I did that to you on purpose because I wanted to see you actually essentially grow a pair and finally take what's yours and stop taking the shortcut way out. And Regal's like, the only reason I use this bracket level is because I needed to, find a way to survive. And so Regal essentially says, you know what? Here's your chance to like stop taking shortcuts. If you want something, go and fucking take it. And Regal turns around and is pretty much like, hit me. And the psychology of the promo is great because MJF still thinks of Regal as this unattainable authority that MJF is frozen and he can't hit Regal.
Oh.
Even though Regal's like, punch me, and then Regal's like, exactly what I thought. And whoa.
Oh, got him.
And
amazing.
walked out. And you just see MJF totally just... He's frozen. Like, it's almost like he's back to that 19-year-old kid again, and Regal just turned on him.
He's like, fuck, I haven't learned anything.
Exactly. It is a masterclass in promo and storytelling work, which leads to the end of Dynamite. Which we'll talk about what happened at the end of Dynamite, but at the end of Dynamite, after the main event, which was Mox versus Hangman for the title, MJF comes running out with the fucking poker chip that he won and a ref. Okay, and you're like, oh crap, is MJF going to fight Mox for the title right now? A bloodied up Mox, which is like, Moxley is essentially the new Cody Rhodes. After every match is going to be bloody.
Yep. Well, Moxley did that anyway.
Yeah. And then MJF, right before the bell rings, he walks out of the ring because he's not even in any gear. Goes out of the ring and shoves the chip in Regal's chest. And he's pretty much like, for once, I'm not going to take the shortcut anymore. He's like, Mox, I'm going to tell you when I'm coming. I'm cashing in my chip at Full Gear. Your main event of Full Gear in New Jersey is Mox versus MJF for the AEW World title.
But I have to go.
That is November 19th, but it's the week before Thanksgiving.
Jesus.
I hate the production, but I need to go.
Are we losing you, K Murphy?
I need to be there when MJF wins.
What if he loses?
You know what? I'll make an attempt to go to Full Gear with you at the Rock.
And you know what's great? I will be on Long Island earlier that day.
Will you?
Yes, because I have a bridesmaid dress fitting thing.
We're
on Long Island.
Ooh.
St. James.
Oh, you'll be by me somewhat. You'll be north, but we'll figure it out. We'll talk about on the post show.
We can actually, and I work the next day, but not until 3:00. I can do it.
Yeah, we can.
I can probably.
You say it's the 19th. You said.
So. Whatever the week before Thanksgiving is, but it's the week before Survivor Series.
I could probably go.
Yeah.
Tickets shouldn't be too expensive.
It's also the Rock's also a great place to get to see an event at. Although the one time I saw a wrestling event was that Backlash, event.
If they want to come.
Yeah, that Backlash event.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I do. The one that everyone hates.
Yeah, that was a bad one. But yeah, no, this is a when you get a chance, watch this whole thing. It's beautiful. This is one of the best promos I've ever seen. Speaking of which, before MJF said what the main event of Full Gear was, we had a very, very scary moment in the Moxley and Hangman Page championship bout, where the bout had to end early because Hangman Page almost died. And this is the official release from AEW Wrestling saying Hangman Adam Page was taken tonight by medical personnel to Cincinnati Trauma Center and diagnosed with a concussion. The Cincinnati Trauma Center has got a lot of famous people going for concussions. You had Tua was there. Tua Tagovailoa was there.
Dude, Tua's still there.
Tua Tagovailoa. And you have Hangman Adam Page within like a 3-week period. He was discharged. He was diagnosed with a concussion. Discharged will remain in AEW's concussion protocol. We're grateful for an exemplary response, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So if anybody sees this, Hangman Adam Page went to take a clothesline from Moxley. And he went to exaggerate the clothesline like some wrestlers do by essentially flipping himself in the air. Well, he got hit a little bit too hard with that clothesline and was knocked unconscious midway through the air and landed on his neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they stopped the match immediately.
Like, okay?
What's up?
He's like, okay though?
Apparently, according to this, but it looked nasty. It looked real nasty. They thankfully doctors were there. They stopped it immediately. AEW's learning. They stopped it immediately.
Yeah. They did a medical stoppage, which, it sucks for the end of a big match like that. AEW is like fucking cursed, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like they can't. Their main events, dude. It's WCW all over again. They can't get their main events right.
What saved them though was Mox knew how to flip it they called the match. Mox took the mic. Jon Moxley took the mic. Wished Hangman Adam Page like a speedy recovery, blah, 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 blah. He literally said, well, we still have more time in the show, and the Yankees didn't go to overtime, so where's MJF?
That's funny. That's funny. And good audible. Yeah. Good audible. That's why they gave him 5 years, dude.
Yeah, and MJF came out. They did the ending where he's like, I'm going to go on Full Gear, blah, 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 blah. And it saves the ending of Dynamite. That ability to turn like that, which is something that Mox learned, and he did it really well. He saved the ending. Like I said, hopefully Hangman Adam Page is going to recover, but it's a nasty, nasty, nasty bomb if you ever see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's rough. I feel so bad for Hangman too. He's been getting such a shit end of the stick lately too.
Yeah, okay. Buried by Punk, injured by Mox, and he lost his title for no reason, it turns out.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope he gets better because he is a talent. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a generational
he's
talent
a
for sure.
talent. Moving on to another thing that happened a couple weeks from now. WWE said, "Fuck it, we're gonna do whole different announce teams for each show." So,
I don't like
so,
it. I
so
don't like
starting with
him.
Raw, we have Kevin Patrick, Corey Graves, your two announce teams. Byron Saxton got moved backstage. Mike Rome is still your ring announcer, and we got Kathy Kelly coming back, which is fucking amazing. Uh,
That's great.
Yeah.
yeah, on SmackDown, we have Michael Cole. Wade Barrett moves from NXT all the way up to SmackDown. Caleb Braxton is
Good
still
for
there.
him.
Thank God. Samantha,
Oh, my boo. I love
Samantha
her.
Irving's the ring announcer. Megan Moran, another backstage person as well. This is all, I think, temporary while Pat McAfee is doing his football stuff, which he's really, really good at. And then on NXT, you have your same ring announcer, your same backstage
Oh,
people.
dig
Vic
it!
Joseph and Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. It is
Shucky
Booker
Ducky
T,
Quack
baby. Back announcing, which I still believe is temporary. I hope, until Pat
I don't know,
McAfee comes
dude.
back. So, what? Will you you have some comments on these announced teams?
Dude, I don't like Kevin Patrick.
Same.
I don't know what it is. It's just like I feel like he secretly has a dark and dirty secret that like remember like I don't know like he sent dick pics to a 17-year-old or something like something bad, something like bad but not
You
like
think
too
he's like
bad.
Tom Phillips?
Like he's hot. Yes, face fuck me Phillips, dude.
Phillips.
Like, he's got a dirty little secret. I don't know what it is, but hear me now, quote me later. And I fucking don't like Kevin Patrick. I'm wrong. It's just like, dude, I don't like his voice. Don't like him. But I love Corey Graves on Raw. SmackDown's better. I think Wade Barrett and Michael Cole is a better combo than I give them credit for.
They're
The
great.
backstage is all fine. I would have done Byron and Corey Graves as in 1-2. It would have been hilarious. Vic Joseph is great, and Booker is very hit or miss. So
Yeah, I do believe Booker is only here temporary. I think Booker leaves. Wade goes back to NXT and Pat goes back to SmackDown when Pat returns.
yeah, when Pat
Yeah.
comes back,
I
yeah,
think
that's fine.
what's gonna happen.
I'm fine with a 2-man booth, honestly.
It's two-man booths
I don't
across
mind a
the
3,
board.
but two works better. But I'm fine with 3. 3's
You know,
okay.
and the big shame with all of this is that you lost Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, well, that's not a strike. That is a
You
shame.
lost Jimmy Smith, which I thought he was doing a great job. I thought he was doing really good.
Yeah, he was much better than the other guy.
Adnan Virk.
Yeah, he was awful.
Which is a shame because Adnan, like if you listen to Adnan in baseball, he's fantastic. He just couldn't get wrestling.
Yeah, well, dude, calling baseball is actually harder than calling wrestling.
So you lost Jimmy Smith, and you also secretly lost Nigel McGuinness as well.
Yeah, I like Nigel.
Oh, was he on
Well,
NXT?
Nigel was doing NXT UK.
Oh,
He was
okay.
also doing Level Up, which is essentially the new 205 Live, or but developmental's developmental.
Oh yeah, I
Is
forgot about that.
happening?
Yeah, Level Up happens every Friday.
Oh.
It goes on during Rampage, on Peacock only. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you lost Nigel McGuinness, so Nigel's not there anymore, which is a real fucking shame. But yeah, the first week I gave Kevin Patrick a chance. I was like, all right, he's not doing bad. And then something happened this week on Monday where I was like, Kevin, you need more enthusiasm when you're making these calls.
Dude, it feels like he's pretending. Like he's not calling it. It's like I don't know. It's like he's pretending to be excited.
I don't think he likes wrestling. I think this is a paper.
I don't know what it is with him.
He's treating it like a job.
Like this, okay, I understand that at the end of the day, the people employed by WWE and AEW, they're going to work. I
Yeah.
understand that. But I feel to have a business, have a career both in show business as well as wrestling, you need to have a love and passion for it because it's not for everyone.
You're
Yeah.
correct. No, you're correct.
He needs to go. He's also forgettable because when they did the announcement, I'm like, who the fuck is Kevin Patrick? Then I'm like, oh, it's the little Irish guy. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just didn't get, like, of all the announcers you had at your disposal, Kevin Patrick?
Dude, Vic Joseph would have been great on Raw.
He would have.
Well, no, his
But-
wife, his now wife, is essentially the sideline reporter or a backstage reporter for NXT.
Oh, so yeah, keep them together.
Yeah, he wasn't leaving her. Trust me. Have you seen her? My lord, yeah. He's not going anywhere. Although I will say, Vic Joseph is also a really good 1-2 with Corey Graves on his podcast. Him and Corey do the After the Bell podcast, which they had Shawn Michaels on last week, which is also a very good one. If you want to listen like how Shawn views NXT, it's a very very good 45-minute interview that they did with Shawn Michaels, which I thought was pretty dope. So that's a new announce team for now. I think things are going to change, as well as a lot of things changed this past 2 weeks or so in WWE in general. So let's go through some madness really quickly, if I may. So not only did you have the NXT people come, not the NXT, the all different announcing, you also had a bunch of things like, for instance, Legado del Fantasma showed up to the main roster and they switched out Zelina Vega and Alexa Lopez.
I love it. I was so
Zelina and all that leather on Friday. My God, I was like, this is an act.
Sapphic victory for me.
It's really funny because I was like, oh, they made Zelina go blonde. I was like, wow, you really want to make her a New York Puerto Rican, don't you?
Hell yeah.
I'm not mad.
The big question is, what the hell happened to Alexa Lopez? Like, she was fine.
Yeah, but Zelina's better.
I get that.
So much better. Zelina's perfect.
I get that. Well, you know what it is? I also had this really also thought, I was like, wow, you're just gonna make Zelina be with all the other Latino people, aren't you?
Yep.
Yes.
It's what she's good at.
When you look back at it and Zelina Vega's rise in WWE, it helped Andrade.
It did.
Helped Andrade a shit ton. Andrade was in the shitter in NXT before Zelina showed up.
He was in suspenders and like a fedora.
With the feather. But that's why I was so concerned.
I miss that era of NXT.
But that's why I was so concerned about why Zelina, because Santos Escobar, we've said this on the show, especially when we were all watching NXT pretty heavily, he doesn't need a mic.
Nope. He doesn't need a mouthpiece. He speaks great English. He's understand. He's a handsome devil, and he's super talented.
Fucking dresser. Like, his suit game is amazing. So I was like, why are you putting Zelina with him? I guess notoriety, but I think they're going to be cool. So not only on top of that, huh?
It's probably to give them recognition for the folks that that never watched NXT that watch SmackDown, because no one knows who the fuck they are. I popped really fucking hard.
Yeah, it was really funny because I was like Hit Row, who I've been enjoying lately now that I've been able to be Hit Row, and it was like someone came and gave him pretty much like a kick to the face. I was like, who the fuck? I was like, oh, guys in luchador mats. Oh shit, it's Legado.
Well, like Legado go. How has no one made that joke before?
The show title Legado go.
Well,
look out, guys! We gotta go. See you next week, Taquan.
Oh, that's a good one. So not only did we have that, on top of a slew of returns, all of these returns and things happened within the last 2 weeks of.
Oh, the Good Brothers, they're back.
We're gonna get there. We have this Viking woman showing her back to everybody.
Sarah Logan.
Well, his boo, Sarah Logan, is rumored to be returning with the Viking Raiders.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, she hasn't shown her face yet, but it's fucking Sarah Logan, thank God, because Triple H is going to take care of the talent he cultivated in NXT and give them all jobs, because that's blatantly.
He's gonna take care of all the ones they release so they can't sue Vince for a lawsuit.
So yeah, potentially Sarah Logan coming back. The Good Brothers showed up at the Barclays Center, which was unbelievable.
I'm so pissed I didn't go.
You're pissed.
I live so close.
Yo, what was AJ doing the Taker pose for? Like you would have thought Finn Balor had an urn. And going, oh yes!
He was supposed to be pledging his allegiance, and then he was like, no, not those brothers. I was go, son of a bitch.
Taquan, that somebody is me. I had the biggest crush on Sarah Logan for no reason.
True.
A chunky white girl, sign me up.
You know what's crazy about the Good Brothers coming back right now? They also showed up on NXT last night.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, I'll pay you. And they're like, all right. Like, all right, sure.
Oh my
Okay.
God. I love Cameron Grimes. Okay, here's the great thing about the Good Brothers right now. Carl Anderson, besides still having a hot Asian wife, is the current never open weight champion.
Holy shit, he is.
Carl Anderson is holding an NJPW title right now.
Well, here's the thing, dude. He was scheduled to defend the belt, but it's the same night as Crown Jewel.
Yeah, so like, is he dropping?
I guess he's just gonna vacate it.
I guess.
Do we think Triple H might let him?
I think Triple H might let him.
He should.
Well, no, he has to vacate because he has a match at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
He can't be in Saudi and in Japan at the same time.
Well, actually, if you cut off his head, which they're fond of doing, they could.
Highly possible.
Carl Anderson is the doctor.
Yeah, right. Oh man,
Paging
I
Dr.
love
Stevie.
the Good Brothers coming back. I bet you AJ's so happy now. Like AJ's like, Triple H, I don't have a direction. Don't worry.
Really happy.
We're gonna bring in your brothers.
AJ's like, I have purpose again.
Literally though.
Oh my God! All right, so you have the Good Brothers returning to a great pop at the Barclays Center because it's a Good Brother town. Brock Lesnar showed up later on that night on fucking Raw as well, which was probably the biggest surprise of that night. And what did Brock Lesnar do? Went to go beat up Bobby Lashley because we're getting Lashley Lesnar.
Finally.
Like, well, we got him at SummerSlam. But we're getting Lashley Lesnar, and if you watched Raw this past Monday, they just did what they do best and beat the living shit out of each other.
They did. They sure did.
Will, did you have Brock Lesnar returning this early?
No, not on my bingo card. I was like, well, Saudi's coming up. They need him. So, yeah, I should have.
thought about it, too. I was like, he's going to take a break. He'll be back whenever, blah, blah, blah. What was that, Kay?
When is Saudi?
Saudi's November 5th, so it's the next big event. As you mess with your pipe right there. So Brock came back to Raw. Seth Rollins became the new United States champion after Brock beat the shit out of Bobby Lashley. as I predicted. And the interesting thing about Seth being the United States champion again, which he won in Barclays Center again, with help from somebody else again. The first time it was Jon Stewart beating up John Cena. And this time it was Brock beating up Lashley. But now we have a legitimate mid-card division because after Seth won, all of a sudden he started getting challengers like very hood Chicago Mustafa Ali, which is a new iteration of his character. I was like, ooh, Mustafa has braids now, and he's wearing Tim's. What?
I love the hair.
Yeah, but I like this more hardcore Mustafa character where he's like, I'm tired of being overlooked. You're not going to deny me. I'm going to be in your face until someone recognizes me. And I like that character for him because I think it's coming from a real place.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
I love his hair.
Oh, braids, yeah. I was like, who's still wearing braids? But I was like, all right, whatever, it works. Whatever, it works. I like him being a foil. I think this sets up a great match at either Survivor Series or Crown Jewel, Seth and Mustafa. Because I think if Seth's doing what he does best, and that means is getting people over, he's going to get Mustafa Ali over again.
Yeah.
You know.
Someone has to.
So it's that. Also, Elias came back.
Yo. Okay. So I need to admit something.
Just let it out.
Elias is a daddy.
Yeah, say it.
No, not that.
All right, what is it? Boo.
Boo.
But like, so I often will watch Raw while I'm cooking and cleaning. So I was like fucking cleaning my kitchen, and they make the announcement for prolific musical artist, and I thought Bad Bunny was coming, and I was so excited. And then it was fucking Elias. I'm like, he's here. Benito is here.
You got by an enough.
I miss him. Yo, I was literally like listening to Bad Bunny the other day, like while I was going for a walk, and I'm like, I hope he wrestles soon. I was like genuinely like thinking about how much I miss him on WWE.
He'll be back at some point, just not anytime soon.
Probably the Rumble.
Maybe. Who knows? If they need him. But right now, they don't. WWE does not need any celebrities at the moment. They are doing just fine.
I don't think they don't need. Oh no, they don't need him. I just miss him.
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoy him.
Yeah. I genuinely enjoy the fact that Elias is back and he's still keeping up the gimmick that Ezekiel was a real thing.
Yeah, my brother's career was tragically cut short.
Yeah. And I also love the fact that he still can't get a song out because everybody keeps interrupting him.
That won't ever get old.
Yes, but now he's part of the mid-card scene too with Seth and Mustafa. You have Seth, Mustafa, Elias, Bobby lurking around the upper mid-card scene. You have a division.
It's got a lot of people to work with, for sure.
It's got a lot of people to work with. Elias is back. Over on NXT, Daddy DeVille showed up with Toxic Attraction as kind of the interim lead as well.
Wait, what do you mean? Where's Mandy?
Well, Mandy, number one, got engaged.
Again.
Oh, I knew that.
To Timo Sabatelli. So I think she took some time off to,
She's marrying Tino Sabatelli?
Yes.
Good for them.
Listen, Tino's got to stay relevant somehow. His career in wrestling didn't work out. So on top of that, Daddy DeVille showed up to be part of his Toxic Attraction storyline, leading into Halloween Havoc, which, by the way, we still haven't talked about just yet. As well. Oh, yeah, and by the way, JBL returned with the new wrestling god known as Baron Corbin.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
What the fuck was that about?
The only thing that was bizarre was JBL's pants.
Everyone's been going off on his fucking pants. I think it looks
That's
fine.
horrible. Stop it.
Yeah, he's overweight. What do you mean? JBL's fat now.
No, those pants were...
I thought JBL just looked old.
He did...
I didn't even notice his pants. He just...
As old as JBL looked, he tore up the Oklahoma crowd. That was amazing.
Oh, yeah. He went in.
That was amazing.
He's been holding that back for a while.
He's like, I want to tell you guys something. I'm sorry that we're in Oklahoma. I was like, holy fuck. He literally ripped them to shit. He goes, Oklahoma wants to go to the SEC, try the MAC. I was like, wow, you love sports. But what are your thoughts, Cameron, on the new wrestling god known as Baron Corbin?
I just don't get why JBL's...
Huh?
I just don't get why JBL is here.
Someone's got to get Baron Corbin
him.
over. By the also, Corbin got his first name back.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'm relieved that once again Baron Corbin's gimmick has changed. I'm glad he's not happy. I'm glad he doesn't look like he's in Miami. Honestly, I like the new look. I think it looks good. I'm guessing he's still like hella rich.
Yeah, that's why he's with JBL.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I
hope.
But I want Cameron Grimes to like for them both.
Yeah, no, what you're seeing now in WWE in particular is Triple H's idea of a shared universe. Because if you notice, a shit ton of NXT talent was showing up on Raw and SmackDown, and vice versa. SmackDown and Raw talent are showing up on NXT. The shared universe idea, I think, works the best for everybody, and I think it's wild to see.
Well, he also wanted to counter program a Dynamite for being on Tuesday.
MLB playoffs.
Yeah.
That is true. It is the Triple H CU. I do like it. It is the Triple H cinematic universe. Good job, Daquan.
That's what I always wanted, though. I hated the brand split so much. I liked when you didn't know what show wrestlers were going to show up on, so you too.
Mm-hmm. But it also benefits the NXT stars, because now they get a little bit more of exposure. So they don't have to do a giant reset every time they come up full time. Like having Cameron Grimes interact with the Good Brothers in a random backstage segment was perfect.
How was it?
It was hysterical. It was, I'm Cameron Grimes.
It was really funny.
Cameron Grimes, and I need some help. And AJ...
Pretty much, dude. That's what it was. He's like, I hear you guys are a tag team, baby. I need some help with some goods down in NXT. And then Gallows is just like, you're that rich guy, right? He's like, no, it's crypto. He's like, yeah, it's crypto, but to the moon.
And AJ's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? They're like, listen, he's got money, right? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna go. And Triple H and AJ sounds like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's hilarious. What's not to love?
So good. And then what they did on
Cameron Grimes
was great. So Cameron Grimes has the money, and he waves it in front of Luke Gallows' face, and Gallows is like sniffing it up. Oh, it's so good. So the Good Brothers showed up on NXT. You also had a lot of crossover with NXT. But we'll talk about that in a little second. Last but not least, WWE also released, I think last week, that they're doing this new thing called Campus Rush. I don't know if you've heard about this, Will or Kay, but literally WWE is going to major colleges and recruiting college athletes to be part of their NIL and deal. This is their new way of recruiting. The schedule's on the bottom. They went to the University of Mississippi and Georgia Tech last week. We are then going to go to Clemson, Boise
Campus
State,
Rush.
University of Arkansas, The Ohio State University, University of Kansas, and Penn State to recruit college athletes to be part of our NIL deal and potentially become future WWE superstars. Spearheading these recruitment tours are Bianca Belair, former Division I talent, Big E, former Division I talent, and Madcap Moss, who is also a former Division I talent, to talk to these student athletes, as you want to loosely call them, student athletes.
Yeah.
To
It's like, hey, we're going to pay you. And they're like, okay.
So to do it, but this is their new way of recruiting people from the ground level. Shawn Michaels did talk about this on After the Bell, where he's like, listen, these are athletes, they're used to be working in a team aspect, they're used to being coached.
True.
You know,
All true. Very good points.
Being coached, they're used to, working towards a set goal. And I was like, wow, this is perfect. This is a very interesting way about how they are going to start to build the future of WWE. Instead of going to the indies, they're going to pick you straight from college, which is what.
Dude, could you imagine Triple H and like Stephanie McMahon tabling like in a student center, handing out flyers like, hey, join WWE. We drink Bud Light at our parties. we got 2 kegs. But yeah, my father-in-law, billionaire. We get 2 kegs.
Listen, if Triple H and
Guys are 5, girls get it free. Here's a flyer.
guys are 5, girls get it free. Nice. Listen, if Triple H and Stephanie were to do any sort of panel at my college, I would have been in the front fucking row.
Hell yeah, I would have been crowd surfing. Woo! Wrestling!
I might push the future children to go to college for wrestling.
I'm in the back. King of Kings! King of Kings! King of Kings!
Oh my god! But it's interesting that they're blatantly saying, "Hey, this is where we're gonna go." This is like it's pretty wild. I like the idea. I mean, there have been some success stories of people who have gone from college straight to wrestling in WWE. Brock Lesnar, anybody? So there is a pipeline for this to happen. I think it'll be good because what's good about the college athletes is that they are prime college athletes. The
and they can make money.
The athleticism, The athleticism isn't an issue. Like, look at Bianca Belair. Her athleticism was an issue, but you can develop somebody's personality and character when you want to give them a gimmick.
Yeah, you also got to have personality and character,
that's
though.
why you have this recruitment, so you can kind of weed them out.
Yeah, true.
But I feel like it's a lot easier to do than to tell somebody, be athletic. Like, if you have the athleticism down, then doing athletic stuff won't be hard for you. You know what I mean? But then again, you got to have that it factor, but I like that they're doing this. This is the fall tour. We're going to do a spring tour, so on and so forth. It's a wild time to be a college athlete right now. You're getting money thrown at you. People want to recruit you to do random shit. You're born in the wrong age. Like, if I was born a couple years later and was a college athlete now, my lord, I'd be rich already.
Literally.
Damn it.
Yeah.
But I'm not athletic, so this is not for me.
It's fine, Kay. It's fine. Moving along. Also, NXT's Halloween Havoc is this weekend, which is essentially going to be what they're going to replace Takeover with because it's on a Saturday. It is not a Wednesday special or a Tuesday special. This is an actual event with a pre-show and everything. And like we talked about, that Triple H was trying to combat and counter promote the title Tuesday for AEW. So you had Raquel on the show last night. You had all of Judgment Day and Daddy Rhea in a match. The Good Brothers were there. You had a surprise Shinsuke Nakamura show up.
At
What was he doing there?
NXT?
Yes. So
Yeah.
Tony D, who was legit injured, his partner Stax fucked up a match for Tony D. And so Tony D's like, you know what? I have a surprise opponent for you to face tonight. And then it came out, it was Shinsuke, and Shinsuke beat the shit out of him. Um, yeah. And then you had the Kevin Owens show. And KO did the KO show for what is going to be the main event of Halloween Havoc, which is, well, it's also Halloween Havoc is going to be hosted by Shotzi. Surprise, surprise. Shotzi is also coming back to host Halloween Havoc, and Quincy Elliott, the Super Diva, who is your new favorite wrestler, K Murphy. You just don't know who he is yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, is this the big guy we were raving about a few weeks ago?
yeah.
Yeah, so this is a K Murphy wrestler, all right.
Is he gay?
I don't know.
He's one of the
Yeah,
letters.
it's one of them. It's one of them.
He's at least one or two, maybe three of the letters.
And if all else fails,
He might be his own letter.
he's a plus.
Love the Alphabet Mafia. We love it.
Okay, what's great about him is that his thing is he's the super diva.
Dude, he's like Velveteen Dream and Rikishi.
I was gonna say Velveteen Dream and Mabel.
Nah, okay. That's a better way of looking at it. Yeah, he does have the big jumpsuit like
He has
Mabel
Velveteen
did.
Dream and Mabel. He rides into NXT on a moped with these big bug glasses on.
Was he on this week's episode?
Yeah, just look up Quincy Elliott. You'll find him.
Well, I'll probably watch an episode of NXT now that I know about.
I was like, go on Instagram and find clips of Quincy Elliott. He'll be great. But I'm more happy about Shotzi's back being the host. But like I said, KO did the KO show for what is going to be the triple threat match for the NXT title between Braun Breaker, JD McDonough, or as KO called JD McDonough, JD McGoogle. I don't know. And Ilya Dragunov, which it ended just the way you thought a KO show thing would happen, with them all fighting. I don't know who's going to win. We'll do our little predictions later. I just want to run through it because we are running a little bit late. But what's interesting about this, they were fighting, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels had one more surprise for everybody as NXT went off the air, because the A-Town theme started playing and Austin Theory showed up
Amazing.
with the Money in the Bank briefcase, hinting that it is a strong possibility that Theory could cash in on Saturday at Halloween Havoc and take the NXT title.
Why would you downgrade why would you downgrade
It's
like
still
that
a
though?
world title, number one. And remember, the Money in the Bank briefcase does not have to go for the world title. It can go for
Yeah, I know.
any title that you want. And also, do you really think that Theory was gonna beat Brock? Or
No.
Roman?
No, not a chance.
Exactly.
This is kind of
Exactly.
his only option.
Yeah, like what else is he going to do at this point? I like the idea, and I like the idea that the Money in the Bank briefcase can travel.
Sure. It's a briefcase. It's made for traveling.
More
Well.
important, though.
Go ahead, Kay. I'm sorry.
I said, but this makes NXT so much more important. Like, this elevates it so much if they use Money in the Bank to cash on.
Yeah. which I hope next year when they do Money in the Bank, they start adding NXT talent. Like, I want this Money in the Bank should be almost a triple branded pay-per-view, with the culmination being your best from NXT, Raw, and SmackDown fighting for this briefcase.
Yes.
You know, and like we said earlier, a shared universe is a great thing. Also on this card, we have Mandy Rose, who looked great in an all-black suit of whatever it was. It was fantastic. Check her Instagram. Versus Alba Fire, also known as Kaylee Ray. Very, very...
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, because Kaylee Ray's her real name, so they had to change it to Alba Fire. I like her gimmick. She was essentially one of the longest reigning NXT Women's UK champions ever. Fantastic run. If there's anybody to title her, it could be her. Also on this, which is probably going to steal the show, you have, lo and behold, a ladder match for the North American Championship. Because
what else is new?
Why break? If it's not broke, why fix it? Every big time ladder match, North American Championship.
We get it. They're small.
Well, it's only because fucking they forced Solo to drop once he moved up to SmackDown on the Bloodline, which led the gap. So you have Carmelo Hayes versus Oro Mensah, who's a new talent, Nathan Frazier, who's relatively new, Wes Lee, formerly of MSK, and for some reason Von Wagner's in here as well, as way just for the sake of being here. So that's the ladder match. You also have on this card an ambulance match from Julius Creed and Damon Kemp. Julius Creed, part of the Creed brothers. If Julius Creed loses, then I think the Creed brothers are eliminated from NXT altogether. And you also have two spin the wheel, make a deal matches, which you spin the wheel, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen to you. You have
I like that one.
Yeah, you have Apollo Crews versus everybody's most hated Aussie, Grayson Waller, and the Grayson Waller effect.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. A.K.A. Grayson Waller, the one that retired Johnny Gargano from NXT, if anybody forgot. That guy.
I did.
That guy. And then you have Roxanne, formerly known as Roxy from ROH, in a spin the wheel, make a deal versus Cora Jade. So that is your Halloween Havoc card. And shout out to Mr. YLP for showing up on the stream as well. But that is your Halloween Havoc card. I'm interested in it. I don't know how well it's going to go, just off the top of my head. If there's a lot of shenanigans, which it might pull off, because who the fuck knows what Triple H and Shawn Michaels are going to pull off on their first major NXT event post-Vince era. I'm going to go probably with I'm going to go 7.5. Will, what do you got?
I don't know, 7 sounds good.
K. Murphy?
7.
7, yeah.
I don't know half these people.
There's a lot that could happen. It's totally up in the air. With everybody showing up on everybody's different brands, there's bound to be some chaos that could happen on the show. And as chaotic as it has been for this show, we got through everything that we did. Returns, surprises, showing up, Money in the Bank cash-ins. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in wrestling right now, and I'm happy that you're here listening to us as we share all of this news and all of our thoughts with you. But now it is time to start getting this show on the road and getting ready for the post-show and everything like that. So, Will Tarashuk, are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
I mean, they were booing Rey Mysterio. Who boos Rey Mysterio?
That's not it
At all, sir.
Did I go over too far? Yeah, I went over too far.
Yeah, you did with the woos.
Oh, I found it. I'm just having fun now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 312, banger after banger, because it has been a banger after a banger after a banger after a banger in pro wrestling right now, whether it's AEW, WWE, or anything in between. It has been absolutely fantastic. Of course, I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Find me at Ambassador Bigs across all social media outlets. Kings of the Rings podcast. Find us at KOTR_podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord, YouTube, We're all over the place at KOTR_podcast. Like, share, subscribe wherever you listen or follow us because it really helps the algorithm and helps us get our product more out there to the unwashed masses known as the IWC and the wrestling community. Follow Wrestle Addict Radio, our mothership of a network, at Addict_Wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else. And if you're going to listen to us, please subscribe to Wrestle Addict Radio wherever you get all of your podcast needs. Hopefully we won't take 2 weeks off, but if the Yankees lose and or win, we might just have to. Will Tarashak.
Yeah, man, it's all looking so good right now. Verlander has 8 strikeouts. He had 6 in a row, and it's 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th with one out double by the Astros. So, Talion's pitching a great game, but Verlander is a fucking ace. It's unbelievable. You can find my ace in the hole at Talk My Tarashuk Podcast, T's and Thomas, ARASHUK. A bunch of fun stuff coming from me. A lot of podcasts I do each and every single week. I'll have more in the coming weeks. K. Murphy, do how you do, young girl, person, friend.
Not a girl, but I'm definitely a person and a friend. I also have a lot of fun stuff going on in the 2 weeks to Halloween. We are in the 13 days of Halloween home stretch. I will be watching one spooky a day for the next 2 weeks. So my Animal Crossing Island is thriving as always, and Freckles came to my rescue yesterday when I needed her most. They can come into your house uninvited to come visit you. So she showed up in my house uninvited yesterday.
Better fucking knock.
They do knock and then they walk in and they're like, "Hi, bestie." It's very cute. You can find me across all social media platforms at the K Murphy, TheKae Murphy. You can check out my Teespring shop at U4 Future Designs on Instagram and U4 Designs on Teespring. We have hoodies, we have cuffs, we have bags. So check it out.
Yeah, so check it out. Check out Armored Shop too as well if you haven't seen our ad. We have stuff. We have like 120 different varieties of merchandise on our store.
Hell yeah, we do.
I did a lot of work.
We're like yogurt from Spaceballs. We're fucking whores, dude.
We are. Anywho, folks, when we come back next week, we're going to talk about the fallout from Halloween Havoc and whatever other madness has shown up and whatever the Bloodline's doing if they're still intact, because who knows when Sami Zayn's going to take over and become the leader of the Bloodline, and Jay will be inevitably pissed. So until then, folks, goodbye, good night. See you on the post show if you're going to be watching us live. And who's that guy that went to AEW in Toronto? Oh, Slack. Fuck you, Slack. Yeah, fuck you, Slack. See you, folks.